Hey, what's up guys, the Strong Boys 19 here. This is going to be another collection video, and for this one it is going to be on one of my biggest inspirations ever in music, Mr. Miles Davis. Now, I don't have a lot of stuff from Miles, but I'm still at the hunt of buying tons of his albums on CD and on vinyl. I mean, because, you know, he has released so much material along with a lot of the other greats. So here's what I have. I'm going to start with the CDs first. The first one is Kind of Blue. Kind of Blue needs no introduction at all. And, well, I've damaged that piece of the CD case, which sucks. Because I used to play the heck out of this album. Because I think it's one of the most celebrated and seminal pieces of art in music ever. Not only jazz, but music, you know, for all eternity. So that is Kind of Blue. The next one is Sketches of Spain. This album is beautiful. It's a beautiful sounding album. This one sounds more like a third stream Spanish type inspired music, hence the title Sketches of Spain, than the modal jazz sound that Kind of Blue had. But yeah, this is another high favorite of mine. Go and check this one out. Files de Kilimanjaro, that is Betty Davis on the cover. The marriage from Miles and Betty sadly didn't last long. Very much a shame, but this is more of like a post-bop, a bit of a jazz fusion sounding album. His previous album before this, Miles in the Sky, has been regarded as like the first fusion jazz sounding from Miles Davis, which I like, but I haven't got that one yet, so this is another fantastic album. In a Silent Way, I think this is one of the top best Miles Davis albums, and this is the follow-up to Files de Kilimanjaro. This is heavily filled with some darkness and interesting jazz playing. Got different musicians that have worked with Miles from a couple of his albums from the 70s, like Herbie Hancock, Wayne Shorter, John McLaughlin, Jack DeJohnette, and many others. However, this one came out in '69, so that is In a Silent Way. Phenomenal release. I also have the Bitches Brew 40th anniversary edition, and this is a re-release from 2015, and I'm going to do a video where I'm going to show you guys what's inside of this edition, just like my Jimi Hendrix Machine Gun First Fillmore East double vinyl release. But yeah, as I've said from my Miles Davis albums list, that this is my favorite jazz album of all time, along with my favorite Miles Davis album. So yeah, another album that doesn't need to be talked about a lot, and I really like the glossy effect that it has on it, and the album name's embossed, and the whole design is just wonderful. Amazing edition. Live Evil. This is another 2-disc release. I don't think of it as much as one of his very best albums. I mean, this is still a very, very good one. Jack DeJohnette's drumming on this album is just beyond mad. It's mainly a live album, but it does have some studio elements. And you can see other names on here like Chick Corea, Michael Henderson, and Dave Holland, and tons of other musicians. What a huge lineup for this album. Jack Johnson, or some people would say tribute to Jack Johnson. This is another high personal favourite of mine, and John McLaughlin's lead guitar work's just brilliant on this album, but I think his best guitar work is from the Mahavishnu Orchestra's debut album entitled The Inner Mounting Flame. Strongly recommend that album. But Jack Johnson, this is just a near perfect masterpiece. You need to check this one out as well. And the last one that I have of Miles on CD, Get Up With It. This is the final album of Miles before his retirement. You know, this was his last album in the 70s in terms of studio albums. Another 2-disc release. And I think that this is one of his most interesting ones as well, along with Live Evil and On the Corner. But yeah, that is Get Up With It. I also have the mug of Kind of Blue, and obviously there's like tons of stuff in it, but the stuff inside has nothing to do with this collection video, you know. Anyway, I had to buy the mug of this because I really like the look of this. I think it's just a brilliant item in my collection. The next one is the Miles Ahead Blu-ray. I have not watched this film yet, so there are some people that I'm very familiar with that gave this movie some flack, a bit of a mixed response, but as I said, I have not watched the film yet, so I can't tell what I think of it at the moment. But this is a movie that I really wanted to check out for quite a long time, well, since it came out to Blu-ray, and I'm very happy that I bought it. I'll let you know what I think of this film in another video. And the next, well, I should say the last pile, are the records. All of them are remasters, not originals, but I'm very fine with that. First one is Kind of Blue. This is another beautiful sounding album to hear as a remastered vinyl. So if you want to hear like one of the best sounding remasters on vinyl, I would highly recommend Kind of Blue. It has definitely got to be up there. The next one is In a Silent Way. I used to play a lot of this album, you know, because the sound of this is just beautiful to listen to. From the drums to the trumpet and the guitar work and the keyboards, the overall atmosphere of this album on vinyl is such a brilliant experience. The next one is Bitches Brew. I idolize the hell out of this artwork. You know, from here to here. This is like one of my most favorite album covers of all time. It's very gorgeous, really well detailed. I mean, there's quite a lot of detailing to look at, but you know, I strongly advise you to check out this album, even though some people would say it's his best album, and I think it's his best album. So yeah, Jack Johnson. This is also the first record that I've bought that contains the original master recording. I don't know how many of these have been made, but this is the special limited edition, and my number is 6063. Gatefold as well. I don't mind this cover, but I prefer the cover just Miles Davis and the black background, and with those names on the cover, I prefer that cover than this one. But yeah, Jack Johnson, another really strong favourite of mine. The next one is On the Corner, and this is such a crazy ride. I mean, some Miles Davis fans don't like this album, but go and try this album again. And, excuse me, it is a difficult sounding album at first, but every time I keep playing this album, it grew on me. And I think this album cover is fantastic. The colours, comic book looking look. That is On the Corner, another really good one. The next one is Agharta, like On the Corner, which has this sticker on there. Here it is again with this one. This is the North American cover. I pretty much prefer the original cover from the original Japanese release of Agharta. But this is a cover that is, well, just as nice. well, as I said from my last update, that this is my personal favourite live album from Miles Davis. And the last record to show is Pangea. Now that I've pronounced the album name correctly, this is the Four Men with Beards remaster from 2011. And there's the logo right there. But in terms of my favourite live track ever from Miles, it has to be Gondwana, which is a 46-minute piece of some beautiful playing, loud playing, and some chilled out, fun, energetic sounding music. Gondwana is my favourite live track from Miles, which is on this album. That is Pangea by Miles Davis. Oh, along with Agharta, both of these releases are Gatefold releases. So that is it. That's what I have of my Miles Davis collection. I know it's not a lot, as I said in the beginning, but I am very interested in buying more of his albums really soon. I hope you guys liked it, and I will be looking forward to do more collection videos of different artists too. So thank you guys for watching, and I will keep you guys posted for more videos in the near future.